Hello everyone, I am General Quackers. I wasn't always a general naturally. It was a long and winding road to get here, but I got time to reminisce, so come, sit with me. This is my story. I was born in a foreign land known as Target Home Goods, a humble shelf, a humble bin, a humble existence. But I was never meant to be ordinary. My plastic was forged too brightly. My bill and smile was too precise. My squeaker rang with the echo of destiny, and one day, he came. Let us just call him the specialist. It was his military rank, you see, and nowadays he works for the Pentagon because of me. So, shh, top secret, no names. Anyways, he was a man with too much time, too little supervision. In short, a member of the E4 Mafia in the United States military. But he was interested in jokes. He was smart and had a keen mind. He carried me from the store that day, like a man cradling a grenade filled with mischief. I still remember that grin on his face as I silently smiled back. Once he brought me back to his house, he unboxed me and set to work. After about a week, my uniform was done. Tailored fatigues, a perfectly proportioned second lieutenant's rank acquired from a Ken doll. But honestly, what sort of name is Ken? Man does not belong in the military with a name like that. I would say he should be a street fighter, but that guy was a thin, pretty boy. Not good for much of anything, in my opinion. Anyways, I was ready, I was eager, and I knew deep in my hollow plastic core, I had been enlisted into a holy war. The next day, the specialist infiltrated our target. He acted normal, moved about doing his normal business, went into the CO's office to drop off some paperwork. And that is when he placed me on the company commander's desk before returning to his normal E4, not doing anything routine, because not a sergeant who gives orders, not a private who is the first chosen to do them. An hour passed, maybe two. And then the captain walked in, talking with a first sergeant about some private who was found driving drunk and having to punish the horde again as, and I quote, "mother effing privates." Honestly, I can relate. The two people who get killed the most in the army are privates and lieutenants, as in both cases. They don't really have enough experience to make tactical decisions, myself excluded, of course. Still, the first sergeant noticed me. Then the captain noticed me. Now I am told, and life experience has later confirmed for me personally, that the more power a person has, the less humor they possess, and the more they see everything as an attack on their authority or position. The good captain was no such man. He simply chuckled and ordered the duck joke guy come to his office by the end of the day. By the end of the day, the specialist did not come to his office. And the captain had named me Quackers, Second Lieutenant Quackers. If a soldier upset him in his office, then yes, they had to salute me too. It was glorious. Every day I sat on his desk, looked at his paperwork. Sometimes he would look at me. I would look back. I am unsure what people thought when he squeezed a squeak out of me with a chuckle. But good officers are hard to find, don't judge. Inside of a week, however, my presence became a challenge. Which soldier could capture me? Which soldier could move me unseen? Which soldier could deposit me in a location that brought maximum confusion, delight, or existential crisis and not be noticed? I became the prize of a secret war. They smuggled me into the motor pool, into the barracks, on top of a flagpole, inside a supply sergeant's coffee mug, in the arms of the unit mascot, on top of the chaplain's Bible, "Blessed be thy quack," and into the arms room, duck around and find out. Each deployment was a success. Each relocation was a tactical masterpiece. And I accepted every new location as my personal battlefield. I stood at attention. I judged everyone's paperwork. I saluted no one. At the end of every successful mission, I found myself returned to my good captain, the best company commander I have ever known. And my legend grew. Now in Europe, the American military bases are scattered, so we have little bases all over the place. Someone found captain insignia in my size, and suddenly I find myself promoted, 40 miles away on the battalion commander's desk. This soldier had decided, let's see how far we can push this. He promoted me, shoved me into a duffel, hitched a ride, and bam! I appeared in a higher echelon of command without authorization, on the battalion commander's desk, with a little American flag stuck to my side. Like any good officer. The battalion commander called the company commander. Why is there a duck on my desk? Sir? Quackers, the rubber duck that I have been hearing about. Why is it on my desk? I also ask myself that question, sir. Can we get him back? They had to send someone over to pick me up. The triumphant return home after yet another successful mission. The troops now called me Captain Quackers. My uniform was altered upon my return. Perfect sewing job. Probably army wives. Possibly a captain who majored in fashion design. I approve the stitching. I continued to pop up in different places around the base, and occasionally other bases. It was a joke, it was instructional, it was great. They even used my appearance in different places to perform investigations for practice. Sometimes they found the soldier who did the deed, other times not. We made things happen, we got things done. It was wonderful, until... well, I vanished for a month. People whisper that I traveled the world, that I infiltrated NATO, that I fell in love with a purple bath toy in Luxembourg, that I was kidnapped by Delta Force for morale. The truth? My specialist mailed me, through the US postal system, to his brother, who worked in the Pentagon. Yes, my greatest infiltration was done with first-class postage. I accept no substitutes. Inside the Pentagon, I was opened alongside junk mail, defense memos, and a request for a new coffee machine. The specialist's brother, I'll call him Bob, had already looked over his target. He knew it was just a timing thing. To keep me safe, keep me secret. Then, at the right time, the generals entered. The normal clutter on the desk, they walked around and talked about the next war the USA was being hired to fight for the Star People. And as one general reached out to put his cup of coffee down, he saw me. Sitting there in the middle of the clutter, promoted to major, and sitting on a note that read, "I look forward to working with you all." I also had a little plastic cup on the table next to me that had "Kiss the Quack" written on it. I was actually disappointed at first. No one panicked. No one fled from me in terror. He just picked me up and remarked, "Isn't this that Quackers thing I heard about going on in Europe?" And the day seemed to end pretty normal. Disappointing, right? Well, remember how I said, at first, oh boy. They did a full investigation, checked all the video footage frame by frame, dusted me and the note for prints, handwriting analysis. They even poked me with Q-tips for 10 minutes. I squeaked in defiance. And naturally, they called my old company commander to find out if I was AWOL. Yes, I am the Major Quackers people, except no imitations. Pentagon sure as heck wasn't going to. Good people, that. And so word got around my old stomping grounds that I needed to be found, that this was not a joking matter, that the actual Pentagon was involved, and doing a full investigation. So please tell us if you know anything. But you know, we all like the captain. He was a great guy. So the specialist presented himself to the company commander and let him know he was responsible for Major Quackers. The generals at the Pentagon took it surprisingly well, very polite, very calm. "How did you get the duck in here?" "It was just a joke," the specialist replied. That revealed so far, at least, 17 holes in our security. How did you get the duck in one of the most secure rooms, in one of the most secure building in the world? You didn't fly over here with it. We checked. Yes, you heard that right. 17 security vulnerabilities were exposed as a result. 17. Because of me. I felt pride. The FBI and CIA felt nausea. "Well," the specialist said, "my brother works at the Pentagon, and we both like to poke at cameras and security stuff. You know, to just have fun and screw with people a little. Nothing bad. Stuff like Quackers. But anyways, he was pretty sure he could drop him off, so I mailed him. My brother was the recipient of the package and delivered the duck when there was enough clutter on the desk the cameras wouldn't see him be left behind. The boys at the Pentagon promoted the specialist to run a special team, specifically to find more holes in security and prove it with his special flavor of enlightenment. They promoted me to full bird colonel and to keep me from wandering off. Again. I do get around after all. But yes, after the 12th time of me showing up in the wrong place in the Pentagon, they put me on a pedestal, under glass, and pointed 3 cameras at me to make sure I stayed put. They think they can keep me from wandering off. Tricky that, but challenge accepted. I waited, I watched, I judged. I knew the CIA and FBI hated me. I was proof that one man could as a joke best both agencies with a rubber duck. They loathed me. I loved it. I knew I just had to wait to make my escape, rather anticlimactically. It was a Tuesday, and the glowy who came to get me didn't even hide it, in front of cameras and all. Lifted the glass cover, picked me up, and walked away. His name was Larry, ballsy guy Larry, we get along. I made general working with him before he sent me off on my ambassadorial mission out in space. But honestly, before I go back out there, I could really use some likes, subscribes, and comments. Somehow those stupid aliens have come to think that those are spendable currency on Earth. And I want to buy a nicer bowl to fill with water and float in when I get back space-side. Speaking of which, if you want to hear about what I was doing in space all this time, that bowl over there looks nice. Mind putting some water in there so I can float in it. But no squeezing. I squeak.